With the recent announcement that Mojang would be changing their development cycle to provide the community with more frequent content drops, I thought now may be the perfect time to take a look at some of the updates Minecraft needs or could benefit from the most. It's still unclear on how large these content drops will actually be or how many we'll receive each year, but it's safe to say that Mojang will continue bringing us bigger themed updates while now adding the possibility for smaller updates similar to the Buzzy Bee update or the Armored Paws update. From the get-go, it's also important to mention that I've already made one of these videos before, so I won't be mentioning things like the end update, lost biome votes, or an inventory update, as although these are all equally needed, I thought it would be better to focus on some new, less frequently discussed topics. The first of which could be a jungle update centered around bringing new and improved life to the jungle. While I currently believe the jungle is one of the most fleshed out biomes in the game, I think there's a huge amount of untapped potential to be found there. An update to the jungle doesn't have to be massive either, as there's already so much to be found there that I believe adding a dozen or so new plants that mostly serve as visuals would be awesome. The jungle is known to be lush and filled with life, so why not add a bunch of purely aesthetic plants? These would not only be great for making the biome more interesting to explore, but also allow for a larger variety when building plant-based structures. Alongside the new plant variants, you could throw in one or two plants that actually serve a function. I like the idea of adding two new plant-based mobs. One being a low health mob that appears to be a vine hanging from the jungle trees that if you were to walk under this plant, it would pick you up and slowly lift you up into the air to drop you and kill you from fall damage. You would have to react fast and kill the vine so it drops you from a lower height. The second mob I want to strip straight out of Minecraft dungeons being the Treetop Whisperer, another plant-based mob that spawns in vines around you, trapping you and allowing other mobs to get close and deal damage while you try and escape. The Treetop Whisperer should only be spawned in at night, while the vine can appear at any time. This would be perfect for a mini content drop to further sprucing up the jungle, but we could also receive an update to the jungle temple, but I think this should be saved for a dungeon focused update. If they were to add more on top of this, I think adding a monkey mob would be absolutely amazing. Their function could be taming them with a newly added banana plant, and they can point out nearby vines hanging from trees by making noise whenever you get close to one, or they could simply just gather and bring back bananas for you to eat. The jungle has some major potential for an update, and I would love to see them revisit the biome in the near future. Following up a jungle update, we have a larger scaled update that would serve as the year's main content drop, and that is another cave update. Now hear me out, I know we just recently had a cave update with 1.17 through 1.19 and even 1.21 with trial chambers being an underground structure, but I still can't help but feel like the caves could hugely benefit from having at least another 3 biomes. Don't get me wrong, the cave update we've received were and still are phenomenal for caves, providing us with much more interesting content when exploring. But if you think about it, we really only have 4 distinct underground biomes, being the Deep Dark, Lush Caves, Dripstone Caves, and regular caves. I also can't forget to mention the different cave generation types, as those do wonders for switching things up when mining, but these can still all be applied to the new cave biomes, so when put into comparison with the overworld, caves really only have 4 biomes compared to the dozens found above the surface. I think that even just adding 3 more biomes to the caves could complete the underground aspect of Minecraft. As for what these biomes could be, well, there are countless ideas out there, but my personal favorites consist of a mushroom cave, an ice cave, and a crystal cave. Each of these have massively different feels to them, with the mushroom cave being similar to the biome found in Terraria's underground, except instead of having a color scheme by a luminescent blue, I want to change that to purple so it doesn't appear too similar to the Deep Dark. The ice caves, while a commonly mentioned idea, really do feel like the perfect cave biome to be introduced. Personally though, I do believe they should be able to spawn almost anywhere underground rather than just being limited to the cooler climate biomes. You could also even have fossils spawn here behind a new layer of some form of clearer ice block to have a really cool prehistoric dinosaur feel to them. And last but not least, a crystal cave would be absolutely gorgeous with a similar structure and layout to the Dripstone cave, except this time the pillars are made out of bright glowing crystal. Each of these biomes would also need to include an incentive to go there to avoid having them feel empty, whether it's through unique building blocks or valuable resources. They could really be anything, but I'm going to go more in depth on these in a future video. Now guys, if you are enjoying the video, just a reminder that liking this video is completely free and helps me out quite a bit, as well as subscribing if you're really enjoying the video. It does wonders, and you can unsubscribe at any point you want, and you'll never miss out on another video just like this one. You did it? Great, thanks. Back to the video. Another update I believe could be hugely beneficial for the longevity of the game is an ambience and visuals update. I am aware that Mojang is working towards bringing shaders or functional RTX to Minecraft Bedrock, which is great, but I'm thinking more along the lines of particle effects and actual in-game effects. For example, I think it would be awesome to have the sky tinted light green when walking through a jungle, or tint the desert sky to appear a bit more yellow and orangish to put an emphasis on the heat of the desert. Alongside these, I would love to see Mojang bring more leaf effects like the falling petals found in the cherry blossom forest, or having the tree leaves sway in the wind. Even adding something like waterfalls and a new particle effects would be great. Improving upon player animations to bring more life to your character. There's really a lot Mojang could do to modernize the game visuals outside of just shaders. This also brings me to the ambience aspect of the game, and while the ambience has been largely discussed, I think combining visuals and ambience to be a smaller content drop would be awesome. The ambience simply could be new things like sound effects in each biome, making exploring them feel a little more lifelike, as right now it can tend to feel a bit empty. And by having things like tinting the sky green in the jungle, it really does just differentiate and signify that you are exploring a different biome. And I personally think this would be great for a mini content drop. Another biome in Minecraft that I find to be heavily underutilized and not really talked about enough is the Mushroom Islands. This biome has remained practically untouched for the longest time and could really use an update. And I mean, the Mushroom Island has such a cool premise, and finding one used to be super exciting until you realize there really isn't anything there for you to find or do. The only appeal currently of the Mushroom Island is the fact that no mobs spawn there. I think adding either a new variant of Mushroom Islands with more unique and interesting generation, or adding new mushroom based mobs that could be used to gather a new form of resource would do wonders for bringing some traction back to this biome. This is another update that doesn't have to be huge either. I really think all the biome needs is a resource that motivates players to visit and a bit of an update to its generation. I think having a renewable resource that could be farmed would be perfect for this biome that provides players with a reason to consistently go back and visit. Overall, this biome is just the perfect size to be updated as a mini content drop, similar to the size of this year's Pale Garden winter drop. Now, the last update I want to mention today is another small to medium sized content drop that, while wouldn't technically add anything new, it would revolutionize building and finally answer many players' long-term requests to add block variants based off the type of wood and stone you use. This includes adding different colored and textured chests, crafting tables, bookshelves, all based off the wood type you use to craft them, along with new textures of furnaces, blast furnaces. I think you get the point. This would be absolutely amazing to see, and many players have been asking for this since the earliest versions of the game. This likely also wouldn't need a whole lot of development time, as really all you're doing is adding new block variants and new textures, making this perfect for a mini content update during the year. Some people are really opposed to adding new chest variants based off wood types because they seem a little mod-like, but me personally, I think this would do wonders for building, and I really don't see the harm in it. Minecraft is growing into be something bigger and different every year, and this is just perfect for letting people explore the creative freedoms even more. With the new content drop format of updating Minecraft, there's a large possibility for update types we haven't seen before, and while most of us still just want the end update, this is still incredibly exciting, as we really have no clue as to what could be coming in the near future. Personally, I'm incredibly excited to see what Mojang has in store, and the ideas listed in this video are a few I think could be possible for the future. But I was fairly vague with a lot of these topics, so if you want to see me take a deep dive on any of these topics in the future, let me know down in the comments. But what do you think about these ideas? Do you have any content drop ideas of your own? I'd love to continue this conversation, so leave any thoughts you have down in the comments below. If you did enjoy, a like is greatly appreciated and goes a long ways towards helping the channel out, and if you really enjoyed the video, subscribe so you never miss out on another video just like this one. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.